Hi guys, hello and welcome back to another video right here on the channel. So continuing our Evercade Cartridge review series and the arcade carts, this is number 16, Neo Geo Arcade 1. I've been waiting to do this one for a long time. So anybody new here, these are little cartridges to play on the range of Evercade systems. There's the arcade machine, the Alpha, the home console, the VS, the handheld, the EXP. We got Super Pockets, which are like little Game Boys. Yeah, absolutely fantastic little system. Let's get straight into it. On go the trusty specs. So we have 6 games on this one. King of Fighters 2000, Metal Slug, Shock Troopers, Magician Lord, Sengoku and Ironclad. Get ready for explosive action in this collection of Neo Geo classics. So we have our little cartridge here full of goodness. We have a little... What's this? Leaflets. Oh yeah, just stuff off Blaze saying about signing up for the newsletter and you get free wallpapers and bits and bobs. Do it if you haven't already, or if that is actually your kind of thing. And we get our little instruction book. I love these. I say every single video. Okay, so about Neo Geo, and then it tells you about all the different games on the contents. So first released in Japan in 1990, the Neo Geo was actually 2 distinctive products: the arcade-based multi-video system MVS and a home console known as the Advanced Entertainment System AES. Notably, unlike other consoles at the time, the AES didn't feature cut-down hardware in any way compared to its arcade machine brethren, allowing for true arcade-perfect gaming at home for the first time. The main difference between the two, aside from form factor, was that the MVS could take up to 6 cartridges at once, allowing for one arcade machine to host multiple games, while the AES only took 1 at a time. The cartridges were slightly different formats for each model of Neo Geo, and AES versions of games often had additional features to make them more suitable for home play. The Neo Geo MVS was a particular success in arcades, thanks to its relatively low cost for operators compared to dedicated single game machines, and its interchangeable game cartridges made it easy to keep up with the latest gaming trends. Several popular franchises that remain active to this day, including Metal Slug and King of Fighters, saw their first release on Neo Geo, and developers continued producing games for the platform right up until 2004, netting its Guinness World Record mention for the longest support of a single arcade system. In this collection, you have the opportunity to explore several key entries from Neo Geo's library, including the first entry in the Metal Slug series, a comedic action platformers, the well-regarded team-based fighting game, the King of Fighters 2000, and Neo Geo launch title, Magician Lord. What a mouthful that was. Okay, and then we go on to show the games. So there is Metal Slug, and all the controls obviously there. King of Fighters 2000. Little move lists for them, which is always nice for a fighter. More of them, more of them. More of them. You've actually listed every single fighter, which is nice. Shock Troopers. Magician Lord. Sengoku. And Ironclad. Okay, so let's go down to the TV. I'll play my favourite 3 games on the cart and then come back up and give you my final thoughts. Okay, first game of the day, let's play Ironclad. Okay, so this is a nice little shooter. Okay, let's start here. So nice vibe straight away, a little bit of story to show us what's happening. Episode 1, Baptism of Fire. These graphics must have been amazing back in the day with those flames in the background. This is just a real lovely shooter. Nothing to dislike at all. Nice music, great graphics, brilliant backgrounds. Plenty of power-ups. What else do you want? Quite beginner friendly as well, which is nice. went down quite quick. So you bested my illusion. Ah, there we go. Keep on with your puny efforts. Let's do it. This game really is fantastic. Get this cartridge, you've got to play it. Okay, let's leave it there, go on to the next game. Let's play some Shock Troopers. Let's go the mountain route. So this just reminds me of the old game, arcade game, Commando. Maybe it's just that run up the screen with a super soldier, I don't know. At the time we had like things like Rambo, Arnie, with Commando, things like that like influenced these kind of games in the arcades. And obviously for home releases as well. But this is like another absolutely exceptional game. Just everything happening all the time. You don't get a minute's peace. The weapons are great as well, flamethrowers, different types of machine guns. All your Rambo fantasy unloaded in one video game. Oh, they're mines. Little dodge rolls are brilliant in this. It really helps. There it goes. Let's leave it there and move on to the last game of the day. Last one has got to be Metal Slug. One of the most famous Neo Geo games, of course. And this is just run and gun at its best. No explanation needed. Run along, rescue your little mates. And kill everything else. absolute mayhem. No other word for it. Okay, let's leave it there and go back up and I'll give you my final thoughts. Welcome back up, guys. So, in the words of the immortal Hawk and Animal, what a rush. Absolutely brilliant cartridge, it really was, and picking 3 games out of those 6 was really, really hard. So let me tell you about the 3 that I didn't pick and let me give you the reasons why. King of Fighters 2000, high quality fighter, a really, really excellent game. I feel it's better if you got one of your mates around. I don't really tend to enjoy playing these fighters on my own. They're more like a couple of beers, the lads, you know, that kind of thing, but exceptional quality game. Magician Lord, fantasy based side-on scroller. You are like the Magician Lord, little wizard. You run along from side to side, shooting skeletons, all kinds of little demons. You get power-ups to change your form, so like you might fire like fireballs instead of like lightning, that kind of thing. Tricky in places, but a nice little game. I just felt there was better on the cart, but hey, I'm a fan. And the other one, Sengoku, old school beat 'em up with a distinct Japanese style. So if you think something like Final Fight, Streets of Rage, like that, very, very quirky, very Japanese. I think the story goes along with like samurai and things like that, and there's times where you have like katanas and you're just hitting these demons, and it's a bit bonkers, but a good game. It's something you could sit down and play through happily, and obviously with the infinite credits like all these arcade games, it'd be interesting to see how this whole cartridge plays on the alpha. Okay, so let's get to it. The best 3 games, in my opinion, on the cart, and you are going to see a clear theme running here. Ironclad, solid horizontal shooter, great gameplay. I really loved it. I'd not played it before, and I fell in love with it. Great music. I love the background initially where it grabs you, all the flames and the city burning, and yeah, really, really good game in there. Shock Troopers, I think I mentioned it in the gameplay. It reminded me of the old 80s action movies, the arcade game Commando. Just, you know, you're running up the screen and you're just blowing the heck out of everything that moves. Adrenaline inducing little shooter in my notes that I put down here. Absolutely love it again. Absolutely great game. And what Neo Geo collection would be complete without one of the Metal Slugs. This was Metal Slug 1. Unbelievably addictive game. The star of the cart for me. It's always a pleasure. I mean, like everyone, I think Metal Slug is the game that we've all played on Neo Geo, either via MAME or, you know, one of the millions of collections that are like available on all formats, really. But yeah, Metal Slug, absolutely fantastic. I haven't even wrote down on there my final thoughts, so I'm just going to give you them off the top of my head. When I first saw Neo Geo announced, I was really excited. I love the Neo Geo. It's been a fantastic machine. Back in the day, it was a rich kid's console. It cost about 600 quid. The cartridges were like £200. You know, crazy prices. For that, you could get like a Mega Drive and a couple of games, you know, so never had one. Never knew anybody with one. But in later life, obviously, emulation come along and I got to play like a lot of like the Neo Geo library. So seeing this released on Evercade was a coup for Blaze. You know, unbelievable, the Neo Geo license. Chucking them all on the arcade label was even better. I'm going to give the tiniest little bit of criticism here, because as you can tell, I'm gushing. I do love this cart. I just think it was very safe. I mean, I don't blame them, and the games on there are excellent. But in further carts, I'd like to see like a little bit thinking outside the box a bit more. maybe a NAM 67 or League Bowling, something like that. But you can't complain for what's here. Honestly, this is a fantastic collection.